The manager of the model agency finishes his special edition magazine. He is excited at the work of his hand, and he is so glad that he has found a way to bring Yuya into the magazine. He feels that with that magazine being sold, Yuya will get a lot of attention, and he will find it difficult to reject the offer of being a model. His director, however, asks him how he intends to bring Yuya to their team. He claims that if the magazine gets produced, Yuya will get more attention, and there will be several organizations that would like Yuya to join them. As a result, Yuya will have a lot of choices, and he can decide not to join their agency. The manager insists that is the reason why he had done that, and with the magazine being produced and sold, Yuya won't be able to avoid being a model. There will be obstacles for him, so he will have no choice but to join their agency. He encourages his manager that they will get the entire thing done, and he orders the sales and marketing of the magazine. On the other hand, Yuya receives his first female visitor to his house. The visitor is no one else but Kaori. She meets Knight and Akatsuki, and she comments that they are very cute. She sits to study with him, and she helps him out with a mathematical equation. After he gets the problem solved, he appreciates her for helping him study well, and she reminds him that he had also helped her learn the English language well and also the Japanese language. He recalls that he had learned those languages in the other world, and he mistakenly says that out. She asks him what he means, and when he finds out he has revealed what shouldn't be revealed, he apologizes and keeps quiet. I am sure you are wondering how she had visited his house and how they had come to the decision to study together. Recall that after the sports competition, Kaori caught up with Yuya to appreciate him for helping her in her competition, as they can together that day. She reminds him that their examination is coming soon and asks him how is his preparation. Immediately she asks that question, and his mood and countenance change. She asks him what is wrong with him, and he confides in her that he has issues with mathematics and can't seem to understand it at all, so he doesn't know how he will pass. She smiles at him, telling him she doesn't know that a person who is good at everything like him can be bad at something. She says mathematics is simple, and she asks if she can bring up a suggestion. Yes, she asks him if it is possible for them to have revisions together in his house and study together. Since he most likely needs her help in mathematics, he accepts to study with her and invites her home. That's how they had gotten to the stage where they are. As they study, she tells him she feels pressed and she will like to urinate. He describes the restroom to her, but he doesn't follow her there. As she enters, he wonders if he is doing good because that is the first time he has had a female visitor in his house. When she tries to go to the toilet, she finds her way towards the door to the other world. As she is about to enter subconsciously, Yuya comes there. I am sure his mind has traveled into several places before he asks her what she is doing there, as that is not the way to the toilet that he had described to her. She admits that she knows that is not the way, but in the process of going to the toilet, she claims something from that room called her nearer, which is why she had come there. She accepts that what she has done could be wrong, and she apologizes for infringing on his privacy. However, he asks her if she will believe him if he tells her the door she is standing in front of is the entrance to another world. She doesn't understand what he means. She wonders what another world means, and he walks nearer to her. He tells her that she should put her hand towards that door, and when she puts her hand there, she sees that there is actually an invincible lock there. He explains to her that the door leads to the other world, and the door can only open for a person he authorizes. At this point, she understands what he means by a door, but she is still confused as to what he means by another world. She asks him if he means a new world, and he tells her he means precisely what he had said, a new world and another world that is different from Earth. He claims the world has several skills that aren't on Earth, and magic also exists in that world. He says that he has learned several magic skills in that world, and he shows her. He calls for water from the sky, and when she sees it, she is shocked. She touches it, and she confirms that it is really water. She eventually understands what he means, and he asks her if she wants to follow him to the other world. She accepts, and they enter together. When they arrive at his compound in the other world, she is so shocked. She asks him if that is indeed a new world that is different from Earth, and he tells her, yes. She checks the fruits and the vegetables in that world, and she admits that it is really different from the ones she knows. He tells her that is the world he met Knight and Akatsuki. He explains to her that Knight is from the little Fenrir species, a species that is just like wolves, while he doesn't know which species Akatsuki is from. He claims he has found out that Akatsuki is from the Manju species, but he doesn't know what the Manju species means. He asks her if she knows what the Manju species means, and she admits she doesn't know that species. He suggests that it could be the same as the pig species, but when he says it, he sees that Akatsuki gets angry at him, so they both assume they are wrong. Night comes to show Akatsuki a prey, and they both leave to catch it, leaving the two young ones alone. Kaori sees a system opening in front of her and asks Yuya what it is. He tells her it is called stats in that world. And when he checks her stats, he says that her stats is higher than his own. He tells her that when he came to that world, he was the lowest of low, he was fat, and he wasn't able to relate with anyone. He says he had leveled up in that world, and he doesn't know how he lost weight and suddenly gained muscles. He claims all the powers he had been exhibiting in the normal world were all gotten from that world, including the one he used when bandits attacked their school, and when the school got burnt, and he saved her. She actually doesn't care about all the stories he is saying, but he keeps up with it regardless. He tells her that what he means is that he has been using a cheat, and there is no way he could have been able to relate with people like them if he wasn't using such a cheat. She smiles at him and asks him to take her to the forest. He refuses and tells her that there are monsters in the forest. He explains to her that the only reason monsters aren't coming inside that building is that there is a barrier inside the building. She asks him if he will take him there another time, and he promises to do that, so she raises her hand and makes a pinky promise sign with him. He also begs her to keep what he has told her as a secret, and she accepts to do so. She makes another pinky promise to him, asking him if the presence of that secret between them makes their relationship special. He pretends not to understand her, so she claims she doesn't want an answer. However, she feels that the fact that he could share those things with her makes her special. He then asks them to return to the other world and study for their examination. On the other hand, Lexia returns home, and she greets her father. After she shares greetings with her father asks Owen why the boy they had gone to bring isn't with them. Owen apologizes on Yuya's behalf and tells the king that due to circumstances, they couldn't come with Yuya. The king asks them if the circumstances involve the new guard, Luna, they had brought. Before Owen replies, Luna steps in and says yes. She says that she is an assassin and she had attempted to kill Lexia, but failed. The king then asks her why she is still alive. He reminds her that for an assassin, she should know that the result of a failed assassination is death, so she should be dead already. She tells him that she also offered to die, but the person who had hired her as a guard refuses to let her die, so the king says he will do what his daughter refused to do. He takes his great sword to kill Luna, but before he gets to her, she restricts his hand. He wonders how she was able to stop that sword. Lexia also gets angry at her father for fighting her friend and says she hates him. He apologizes and accepts Luna as Lexia's guard. He asks Luna to help him lose the bind she has tied him with. The king, Arnold, meets with Owen later on, and Owen tells him that it was Yuya who saved Lexia again. He also tells him Luna is the great assassin of the Dark Guild, which is named Headhunter. Arnold says Luna is very skilled, and Owen explains that after Yuya saves Lexia, he takes her to his house with Luna, and they spend the night there. The king gets angry. He claims he hasn't given Yuya the right to meet his daughter inappropriately, and it is disrespectful. He says he will kill Yuya when he arrives. On the other hand, the prince meets with his spies, who inform him about Lexia's failed assassination. He also tells him Luna has become Lexia's guard and Yuya will be coming to the city soon to meet the king. The prince assumes that although he will become the king, it isn't a bad idea if he becomes the king earlier or faster than he should. He tells the assassin that he will give him his secret, which is his magic barrier portion. He asks that they will release the portion so no one will be able to use magic, and after that, they shall fight and kill Arnold, Lexia, Luna, and Owen since they are the only ones who can use swords. The assassin reminds him that if things go south, he will be killed, so he claims he wants to use that opportunity because there is someone he can lay the blame on. He asks that they shift the blame on Yuya after the king is killed. Yuya gets a holiday from school after the sports festival. He decides to use the opportunity to visit the king and Lexia. On his way, he kills some sheep, and he gets the sheep's fur, horn, and also beddings created from the sheep's body. He starts traveling, and when he gets to the first village, he is excited at everything he sees. He sees creatures with tails and recalls he doesn't have money to spend in that city, so he goes to sell products in exchange for money. When he enters the store, the merchant accuses him of being noble. He sells pepper to the merchant, who claims it is the highest quality pepper he has ever seen. He takes his gold coins, and he continues his journey after the merchant describes where he will get a carriage. He arrives at the royal capital, gets to the palace, and Owen takes him to the king. Arnold is initially angry that he has spent the night with his daughter and even says he has seduced his daughter. The chiefs around control Arnold and asks him to be calm. He eventually asks Yuya what gift he has brought. Yuya hasn't brought any gift to him. He feels bad about that, and he brings out the bedding he got from the sheep. Everyone in the room is shocked. The king gets furious and asks why Yuya will disrespect his daughter in such a manner. He brings out his sword to attack Yuya, but Owen intervenes, saying Yuya doesn't know that giving bedding in their kingdom signifies you want to take the lady away. He tries to apologize, and the assassins jump in. They activate the barrier assuming no one can use magic there, but Yuya defeats them all. Happily, Lexia goes to hug Yuya, and her father gets furious at Yuya. He raises his sword at Yuya and Lexia gets angry at him. She confronts him, asking why he would do that when Yuya has just saved them. In his defense, he claims he has no other choice seeing how she hugged Yuya. As they argue, Owen, who is tying the assassins, finds a sum of money and a crest in the assassin's pocket. He shows the king that the crest belongs to Ryger, Lexia's brother. Owen immediately goes to Yuya, asking him to lend them his skills because their kingdom is in trouble.